I've never actually watched a video by ShortFatOtaku before. All I know is that this dude's avatar actually makes me want to commit a genocide in Minecraft. I don't know what it is about this guy's avatar. I guess I'll show it on screen now. That's not what I click. I guess I'll show it on screen now. Something about this guy's avatar just enrages me to the core. No idea what it is. It just fucking enrages me. It makes me want to punch a hole in a wall, like a Kyle or something. I don't know what it is about this guy's avatar that makes me want to punch something. It's not just like reactionaries that make me want to do this too. Thought Slime's avatar makes me pissed off too. I don't know what it is about Thought Slime. I don't know what it is about Thought Slime's avatar that just fills me with some kind of primal rage and hatred. I just don't know what it is. It just looks fucking stupid and it pisses me off. I really don't know what it is about it that just I feel this weird primal hatred deep to the core when I look at Thought Slime's avatar that just makes me mad. I don't know what it is about it. It just makes me angry. It's that shit-eating grin, that fucking like nose that looks like you could land a plane on it. I don't know what it is about this avatar that just pisses me off. It looks a little British. That does piss me off. This guy's avatar gives me the same vibe that just makes me want to punch a hole in a wall. It just pisses me the fuck off looking at this, like to the core. Because Canadians are subhuman, I know because I am one. There's 3 terrible things you can be. Bald, an alcoholic, and Canadian. And I know a guy named Lyndon FPS, it's all 3 of them, so yeah. You're right. Okay, so this guy made a video called Intellectual Blackface. I assume he's a racist or some kind of fascist or reactionary, so... This video is 17 minutes long, so let's get right into it.
Blackface is a form of theatrical makeup used predominantly by non-black performers to represent a caricature of a black person. The practice contributed to the spread of racial stereotypes about black people, and blackface minstrel shows had become a distinctive American art form. However, by the present day, it's largely fallen out of favor and is generally considered offensive and disrespectful. That is Wikipedia's definition of blackface, and helpfully included in that Wikipedia article is a historical drawing of somebody dressing up in blackface, presumably as an advertisement for his show. And it's probably pretty easy to see why, yeah, that this could definitely be construed as racist. But nonetheless, blackface has a history of its racism. You can actually go back over the past 200 years and trace its origins. To contrast, here's Wikipedia's entry.
I don't disagree so far. Do we disagree with do we disagree with anything so far? Could be construed. Yeah, could be construed as a weird way to word it, but so far I disagree with nothing he's actually said.
Entry on brownface. Racial brownface is a variation of blackface in which a person imitates a person of Latin American, Middle Eastern, North African, Polynesian, Native American, and or South Asian ethnic origin. This can be done using makeup, hair dye, or by wearing traditional ethnic clothing. It is typically defined as a racist phenomenon whether or not the offender intended to be racist. This seems to be the ideological root of cultural appropriation, because let's say that you're a white guy in Japan and you decide to throw on a kimono. You are wearing a variant of racial brown.
That's not what it is. Ah, fuck. There it is, guys. We're waiting for the fucking take, right? No. That's not what it is. Wearing a kimono, if you're like a white guy, is not cultural appropriation. What would be cultural appropriation would be if you put on like a rice farmer hat and some sandals and then walked outside into like a puddle and then did this and squatted down by the puddle into a camera and said, "Welcome to the rice fields, ching chong, motherfucker." If that's something that you did, then maybe that would be considered cultural appropriation, just maybe. But I don't think just being a white guy wearing a kimono. Neat. I don't think a white guy wearing a kimono would be cultural appropriation by this definition, by any fucking definition of the word.
Brownface because you're wearing traditional ethnic clothing. And while both blackface and the complaints against it have a long history, people have only really been talking about brownface for the past couple of years. The first example in the article, in fact, is The Simpsons coming under fire in 2018 over the character Apu.
He's lying, I guarantee it. Brown face mask, brown face. Let's see, if we go down to historical and economic explanations, there are historical and economic factors that have contributed to the success and arrival of brownface in minstrel shows in the United States, although it is impossible to say for sure where the phenomenon of brownface occurred. United States immigration and foreign affairs have had an impact ever since the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882. Efforts to limit immigration to keep sort of native purity within the United States common. 1942 serves another possible explanation for the emergence of brownface. So it appears that it originates from the 1800s, the mid 1800s, to the mid 1900s, are where it like starts. So the argument that because he scrolled down and one of the things that he found cites the fucking Simpsons right here, because this is as far as he read. Look, he read down to where it says brown voice and read the first paragraph, and this is where he stopped. He didn't even go down to historical and economic explanations. You love to see it. That's what I love about reactionaries. It doesn't take all that much to debunk them and show that they're lying. All you have to do is read past what they show in their video, and you'll see what debunks their claims. It's pretty funny.
Even though Apu has been in the show for 25 years before that. Of course, to simply say that brownface doesn't exist seems to be a little bit absurd as well. Remember when John Wayne played Genghis Khan? Because that was back during the era when Hollywood didn't actually like brown people acting in anything. And yeah, I guess in some of these pictures they threw some makeup on him, but for the most part, he just looks the same. In any case, the discussion on
I mean, a way better example would have been Tropic Thunder. If, like, a way more relevant and better example would be Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder. You guys know Robert Downey Jr. literally did blackface, right? You guys... This is a way better example. This is Iron Man right here, doing blackface in a blockbuster movie. It was a long time ago, but yeah, this happened. This is a thing that unironically happened. I honestly don't think it's that big a deal. To be fair, it's a little problematic, I guess, but it's a complicated situation, okay? It's a complicated situation, but that's the example I would have used.
Blackface resurfaced a couple months ago because of my Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau. Old photos of him...
Oh, he is Canadian. Oh, fuck. Talk about subhuman, am I right?
Acting as a drama student and as a drama teacher were found wearing various costumes, including blackface. And so many articles were published like this one. This is why brownface and blackface have always been offensive and always will be. I guess we're just going to skip over the fact that brownface does not have nearly the same historic implication as blackface does, but what...
Yes, it does. We just, like, I guess he didn't read past the first two paragraphs, but if we go... hold on. Racial brown face. I mean, if you want to go back to the Wikipedia page, we can look at the historical and economic explanations, minstrel shows, look at times it's happened all the way back in, like, early 1900s. I mean... Uh-oh. Oh yeah, who remembers what Paula Deen did? That was a tough scene right there. I remember that shit. That was a good fucking meme. I'm Paula Deen, y'all. Alright, let's continue.
Whatever, fine. It's the same thing now, I guess. I chose this article, though, because...
Yeah, blackface is more of like a... or I think brownface is more of like a umbrella term for this, and blackface is like a specific example, right? Like, for example, they're both racist. It's just that racial brownface refers broadly to the practice of dressing yourself as a caricature of a certain race in order to mock that race, or generally to mock that race. It's more of a broader phraseology, while blackface is more specific to black people.
Because they seem to at least implicitly understand that brownface and blackface aren't the same thing, yet they still insist on lumping them together. What is blackface?
Okay, so all blackface is racial brownface, not all racial brownface is blackface.
Blackface is the art of painting your face in a darker tone to resemble a black person. While the practice dates back to the racist minstrel shows in the 19th century, etc., etc., what is brownface? Brownface is different from blackface in that the person is trying to resemble someone who may be Latin American, Middle Eastern, Polynesian, Native American, or Indian. Why is it so offensive? Now here's where it gets interesting. Blackface is a practice rooted in history. Yes, it is. It's about so much more than just painting your face a darker color. Absolutely. It's surprising, therefore, that in the context of this well-known history, people still find it acceptable to black up and perform blackface and brownface at parties. Nothing here has described why brownface is so offensive. You're literally just lumping it in together as if it's the same thing, and it has...
Blackface is a form of brownface. It's an umbrella term for when somebody tries to, like, dress in a stereotypical way of like a non-white race in order to mock or parody that race. That's what it is. It's an umbrella term. Is he just gonna say this over and over again? Is this video literally just him trying to justify blackface and brownface? Like doing these things? Oh boy. Oh boy.
Has the same historical connotation. Now you might just say, Dev, give him a pass. It's similar enough. Yeah, the racists of the 19th century didn't conceive of Latinx face or whatever, but we all know that if they had, they would use it the same way they use blackface and it would have the same connotation today. And you know, you're probably right, fair enough. But what about whiteface? Well, Nick Cannon.
Really? 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 Why is it okay, or why is it socially acceptable to do whiteface? Is that the question we're asking right now? The reason why people don't like it when someone does blackface or brownface is because there's a lot of historical implications behind these actions, right? Historically, white people have been the perpetrators of oppression towards people of color in the Western world, particularly in America. And so these acts also coincided with ways in which white people oppressed and looked down upon people of color. On the other hand, this hasn't happened with white people. There's never been, like, black people or brown people have never, like, enslaved white people because of their race and then made some sort of media to shit talk them, along with the historical context of, like, enslaving them and discriminating against them based on the law. The historical context is important as to why these things are seen as offensive. When you do whiteface and make fun of white people, you're punching up. When you do blackface or brownface and make fun of, like, people of color, you're punching down. That's why it's not seen as acceptable. Or that's why whiteface is seen as, like, socially acceptable. Comparatively speaking, of course.
A black musician put on whiteface. And there he is. He's got the white skin, the red hair. He actually got in a little bit of trouble with this, believe it or not. Not nearly as much as Justin Trudeau putting on blackface, but still a little bit. But I do think it's telling that Nick Cannon went ginger instead of, say, black-haired or brown-haired or blonde-haired, but red-haired. Because there definitely seems to be a sort of soft whiteface happening in Hollywood.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Chat, is he gonna pull the Hollywood is trying to make gingers go extinct? Red-haired women go extinct? Is he actually gonna do it? The Quartering does it, and then Geeks and Gamers likes to say it, and so does No Bullshit. Are we about to get a Hollywood is trying to make gingers extinct? I'm ready for it. Hit me with it. I'm ready. I'm ready. Hit me with it.
Nowadays. Maybe it's a hiring whiteface, I'm not sure. I mean, you've got Halle Bailey, a black woman, playing the Little Mermaid, who was, at least in the adaptation that they're going off of, a ginger. You've got Anna Schaefer.
Yes! Oh god, I can see into the future. I promise you, I haven't seen this video yet. I fucking called it. Oh my god. I can see into the future. My third eye has been opened. I am able to see into the minds of reactionaries and learn exactly what they're going to say ahead of time. Listen, I'm gonna give you the hot take right now. I'm gonna give you the hottest take right now. Half of my chat is going to leave, and the other half is going to hypers and say this is absolutely true. Ginger guys are bad. Girls who are gingers with red hair, like redheads, are good. Hypers for true. Weird champ for based, or for not based. I'm sorry, but I don't like guys who are gingers. Girls that are gingers, on the other hand. I want to see Hypers beat the weird champs. Hypers better beat those fucking weird champs, okay? I told you that would be my hot take for this stream. That's the contentious take today. Oh, I love it. Red-headed women, they're going extinct.
A half-black woman being cast as Triss Marigold, who is, again, a ginger.
Uh-oh.
In fact, there just seems to be a whole lot of instances
there it is, dude.
Of white characters, especially white gingers.
Oh shit, Bones, thanks for the $10, says I lost the bet, Lamau. Wait, what bet was there, Bones? I don't even know what you're referencing, but I'll take your $10. Thank you, buddy.
ginger characters being replaced by black actors and actresses. Don't you dare go.
It's the ginger question, chat. It's the ginger question. They're trying to outbreed the gingers in Hollywood and make them not exist. Oh, no.
The other way around, though. Even if it's just voice acting, if you have black characters, make sure you hire black voice actors for that job. In general, the flow of outrage regarding race swapping seems to only happen one way. For example, thousands of black actresses.
No, it doesn't. I promise you it doesn't. You can't say that and then have videos by the quartering and no bullshit getting millions of views. They talk about, like, ginger genocide in Hollywood. It's just different people getting mad about it. Guess what? When you whitewash characters, non-white people get mad about it. And then when you replace ginger characters or white characters with people of color, then racist white people get mad about it. And the people who don't get mad about it don't really give a shit, like me, because, like, why the fuck do you care so much if you're not racist?
Have cosplayed as Sailor Moon, a white or at least Japanese character, though to be honest I'm willing to say white because of the blonde hair. Meanwhile, if you're a white girl cosplaying as a black character, expect to get dragged all over the internet. And yes, this picture actually does show the same person. It doesn't matter that this is a woman who's cosplaying as a man, nobody cares about that. It's the fact that it's a white girl cosplaying as a black character.
Why would anybody care about a woman cosplaying a man? Wait, why is that an issue? Wait, why would anybody take issue with that unless, like, you're a reactionary who thinks that that's degenerate somehow? Wait, I'm actually genuinely curious. And of course, yes, if you do things that are controversial online, people are going to drag you for it. It'll be different groups of people that get mad about different things. For example, we already brought that up before. Racist white people get mad whenever a brown person replaces a ginger redhead character that's white for some reason. And of course, brown people get mad whenever non-white characters get replaced by a white person in media. You get controversy from different sides. Different groups of people get pissed off over different things. It's not a double standard.
Character. Unreal. And even if it's historically inaccurate, that's okay, because it's diversity, you see. That's the thing that's valued. And it doesn't matter if we're talking about cosplay.
Are we really going to talk about historical accuracy in our media? If it's a show or some form of media that's going out of its way to be 100% historically accurate, then I guess you could understand getting mad about it. But like with the Battlefield 5 game, right, where it was like a World War II game that had like a lady on the front lines, like a robot arm, they never said in anything about the game they were trying to be like a historically accurate first-person shooter. They never said anything about that. If it's just a fucking like augmented history, what's it called? If it's like historical fiction, where it's like a fictional story set in a historical setting, something like Assassin's Creed, right? Then why are you getting mad about historical inaccuracies? There's a ton of historical inaccuracies in this game that you people never get mad about, unless it's just brown people being in it. You guys just don't like seeing brown people in your media because you're racist.
If we're talking about acting choices and casting choices, or if we're talking about artwork, doesn't matter. You can find examples of this nonsense happening all over the internet. Here's a screen grab from that rather mediocre reimagining of She-Ra the Princess.
This is like one of the most highest rated shows on Netflix. It's probably not very mediocre with how popular it is. People seem to really like it. It's only reactionaries like you that get butthurt. You can't jack off to the main character. I'm sorry, but you can't jack off to the 14-year-old. Listen, hey, every reactionary watching this, I'm really sorry. I know you're all pedophiles and you all want to jack off to 13-year-olds and 14-year-olds, but I really am sorry they didn't make this 14-year-old character fatable enough for you. I know you're all pedophiles and you all need to be able to jack off to underage girls on a daily basis, but I'm really sorry, but you'll have to find somewhere else to do it. You'll have to put your dicks away and be pedophiles elsewhere. I know. I'm really sorry. And you guys can get really mad about it. You can make your videos about it, about how She-Ra is SJW trash because you can't jack off to the 14-year-old main character. But I'm sorry. I really am sorry. You'll have to be a pedophile elsewhere. Oh. Wrong scene. Stream's over, chat. Alright, let's go.
Of power. Well, someone decided to take this exact scene from the show and redraw it in the old art style with the old character designs, which ended up turning at least one of the characters white again, since that was their original design. And as which ended up turning at least one of the characters white again, since that was their original design. And as you can expect, the backlash on Twitter was immense, even though this
Twitter backlash? You're getting mad about Twitter backlash? Literally anything you tweet on Twitter, no matter how innocuous and how innocent, is going to get you backlash. Twitter is a hell site where only the most degenerate, lacking of any type of morality people go. It's the worst place in the world. Hold on. Do you guys want to see how bad Twitter is, just for like a comparison here? I made a tweet the other day that I feel like was pretty fucking innocuous, that still got me a ton of shit, that I still got canceled for. Hold on, where is it? Here it is. I got controversy for this tweet. When I was 9 years old, my grandma taught me how to fold the Land O'Lakes butter box that the lady on the front's knees would be over her chest, and it kinda looks like boobs. So sad they took her off the box. Rest in peace, butter lady. And then one of the top comments was, can white leftists please just stop? Sign, no more racist butter boobs. This is a good one. Remove the native, but kept the land. Hell yeah! I'm sorry. Fucking got him. Listen, Twitter is a fucking hell site, guys. If you want to predicate some sort of argument on, but people on Twitter got mad, you're gonna have a hard time, because everybody on Twitter is mad. There's two, guys, there are two emotions Twitter users have. Angry and horny. And it's usually happening simultaneously. Especially in the case of the pedophiles angry about the design of She-Ra in the Netflix series. They're both angry and horny over a 14-year-old character.
Technically isn't whitewashing because the character was originally white. It happened with Pokemon too, but even stupider. This is Nessa, the water gym leader from the newest Pokemon games. She is obviously a darker-skinned woman. A Japanese artist drew her in a pastel style, which had the added effect of making her skin not as dark as it originally.
Damn, look at that. 34,000 likes. Damn, looks like a lot of people liked it. Let's see how big the backlash was for this.
Originally was. And the entire internet basically
The entire internet. There's some likes on those.
blew up, screaming about whitewashing.
Do you want to bet that if we went to the website or to Twitter and we looked at that post, that the top comments probably wouldn't be overwhelmingly negative? I mean, the post had a shit ton of likes, like literally 34,000 likes. I'm going to bet most of the Twitter backlash was in the minority. Stop demonizing pedos by making them seem like conservatives. I'm going to assume that's a joke, Weekly Winter. I'm going to assume that's a joke.
And racism and this and that, and how dare they take a character that is a person of color and make them white. Even though, to be honest, when I look at the original artwork, I don't really see that. Do you? Of course, the internet, being what it is, in response to this, actually started drawing Nessa as white. And even went so far as modding the game to make her white. Nessa is the only...
That's a little weird, right? When you go as far as to mod the game to make a black character white, that's a little far. I don't feel like that was done to haha troll the SJWs. I'm gonna take a wild guess. It was a joke that pedophiles aren't as bad as conservatives, which is true. Yeah, I know, but it's a difficult discussion to have. Alright, let's...
Pokemon character I've ever seen with skin like mine. And I know that...
all conservatives are pedophiles, but not all pedophiles are conservative. I'll grant you that.
This sounds cheesy, but I almost cried when a bunch of artists started making her a white person or with light skin. Switch, you can't even be like a light skin.
I like how he censored the, or like cut out the likes on this tweet. How much do you want to bet this has 1 like? And it was from them. And they're like, ha, look, I found a tweet and it has 1 like, but I'm gonna cut out how many likes and retweets it has to just make it seem like this is like a huge thing that's happening. Like people on the left are having a mental breakdown about people drawing this character as white. No one gives a shit. Literally nobody cares.
And dark person anymore? You all hate us so bad that we can't even exist in fucking Pokemon. You know, Pokemon is a series of games that takes place all over the world.
Look, what is this, Cleon? Is this the post? Mm-hmm. It's just an edgy meme, chat. They're just doing it as a joke, right? You know, just to own the SJWs, right? Yeah? Just a meme to own the SJWs? Okay. Alrighty.
It's set in Japan, the UK, France, New York, Hawaii, and as such, there's a lot of people in the series of every single race. Nessa was not the first black person to appear in Pokemon, but things devolved into colorism rather quickly.
But, I mean, hold on. How old is the? Hold on. Give me a second. Okay, she's definitely the hottest. I had to confirm there, because I'm pretty sure a lot of characters in Pokemon are pretty fucking young. She's 21. We're good. She's definitely the hottest. I'm gonna say this without a doubt. Hold on. Listen, it's really hard to tell with art. A lot of fucking Japanese art is like fucking drawn, where they draw like 14-year-olds to look like they're like 30-year-old women, and a lot of like 30-year-old women to look like they're 14. Okay, like this character is definitely like 14 years old. This character, on the other hand, is pretty androgynous, but she's definitely like the hottest one. Nessa isn't the hottest, but she's top tier. In my opinion, she's the hottest. Shut up, lying peaches. Alright, let's continue.
Of every single race. Nessa was not the first black person to appear in Pokemon, but things devolved into colorism rather quickly because here's a person who got like a deep tan.
Why is he cutting out all the likes? Because you know these tweets only got like 4 or 5 likes max. This always happens with reactionaries. These tweets only ever get like 4 or 5 likes max, so that they can overblow it out of proportion and make it seem like it's a big deal. This guy's at least smart enough to cut out the likes. Something that Rose of Dawn couldn't do. Rose of Dawn actually included the likes and showed that they only had like 2 likes on the post that she was showing. This guy's smart enough to cut them out so that the illusion of this being like a huge deal can be perpetuated. I know how these people work and how they kind of push their propaganda.
And is a white person, obviously, who got a deep tan to cosplay as Nessa. And then here's a black cosplayer who, by the way, is quite light-skinned herself for a black person, saying, "My dude, listen, tanning is still blackface when you go out of your way to tan to be a black character." And here's that same woman on a different day. "Hey guys, I got called whiteface scum because I'm not dark enough to be considered black by them. Please, these internet trolls try so hard, it's fucking hilarious." No, they're literally operating off...
No, I'm pretty sure the people that are calling her whiteface scum aren't actual black people or SJWs that are mad that she's too white. I'm going to bet that's not the case. Do you guys think this lady... I want you guys to honestly ask yourselves. Do you think this lady was really getting harassed by SJWs and other black people for being too white? Or do you think maybe they were trolling? Because let's just say reactionaries and Nazis on Twitter have a tendency for making throwaway accounts to troll and psyop. They do it all the fucking time. They did it like a few months ago to try to get me and Guccian into like a Twitter fight, where they're like, "How do you feel about Xanderhal saying Pig Puncher is a dead name?" and tried to start a fight between us. But then I went into this person's like into their follow list, and they were following Nick Fuentes, the Kill Stream, like all these different big Nazis, and literally nothing but Nazis. They like reactionaries love to troll like this. They do it all the fucking time.
The same rule set that you operate off of. You have nothing to complain about. Though I think the funniest instance of all is an artist not knowing who Black Panther was and only understood his suit, drew him as a white guy.
No, I don't believe that. I do not believe that someone drew the character named T'Challa from Black Panther as an Aryan blonde guy and then said, "I've never seen what the character looks like." I do not buy that. I guarantee I don't buy it. Every single bit of media, like all you have to do, I guarantee, okay, you have to have Googled Black Panther to see the character, right? To know like what to go off of, right? Let's see what happens if you just Google Black Panther. I don't know. I feel like you're gonna have a hard time only having seen the costume and not knowing what the character looks like underneath it. I don't buy that excuse. Oh my god, this shot from the movie was so fucking ridiculous. I remember seeing this shot and being like, I don't know why, but this shot just looks so silly to me. It looked like it was being taken from like an iPhone with the flashlight on at night when you look up into a tree and see a raccoon looking down at you. I don't know why. But like, have you ever done that? Like go out into your yard after you hear something in the middle of the night and look up with a flashlight and see some sort of animal like an owl or a raccoon or something in the tree? It looks so weirdly rendered. It looks so weird. It's not CGI. It's him actually in a suit up in the tree, and the rest of the game, or not the rest of the game, the rest of the movie, his suit is CGI'd, so it just looks so fucking weird. I don't know why, but I remember that scene. I remember it looking so weird. No, I don't buy this guy's excuse. He 100% did a whitewash on the character.
And the resulting fallout was amazing. I don't know if you can read it here. You literally whitewash, disrespect, insult, spit on black people, and expect to be praised for it, and you have the fucking nerve to call us hypocrites? Well, yeah, actually I do. When white characters are being changed into black characters, you don't bat an eye. Unless they're doing blackface, of course. Unless it's a white person wearing blackface. That's different, even though it's still white going to black. I mean, here's the Sailor Moon argument again. There are thousands of bits of artwork where people take characters...
we've already talked about this. If you do blackface, you're going to piss off black people. If you do whiteface, you're going to piss off racist white people. There's historical, sociological context by why one of these things is seen as non-offensive to the general public and why the other is. I mean, racists like white nationalists and white supremacists and whatnot are some of the biggest snowflakes in the fucking world. They get so easily offended. Imagine being offended by Ariel being a black person in the new movie, being played by like a black person. It's like only fucking racists would give a shit about that. Wait, but Sailor Moon and their characters are literally Asian anyway? Yeah, I don't know. Let's watch.
That are either white or Asian. I mean, it depends. It's anime, right? But white or Asian, and make them very obviously not either of those things. No one cares. No one bats an eye. No one shrieks racism at this. But do it with Black Panther, and oh shit, it's on.
I'm pretty sure people shrieked racism at that image. Listen, no matter what you do, some group on the internet's gonna get pissed off about it. That's how the internet works, okay? Somebody got pissed off about this. There's just no monetary incentive, or I guess ideological incentive, for you to go out of your way to find said outrage and then clip it and make a video out of it. There's no money in saying, oh shit, look, they took these Asian characters and made them black. Isn't that offensive? Look, they're doing a bad thing. There's no ideological or monetary incentive to do that, so there is no big outrage by it because you don't see it.
But do it with Black Panther, and oh shit, it's on. Because we're talking about the radical left here, and because the radical left values only power.
Imagine thinking the radical left means making, like, brown people happen in movies and games. I'm pretty sure Marx wrote that down specifically. If you actually read Capital... by who wrote Capital? It wasn't Marx, was it? It was Lenin, right? Lenin wrote Marx or wrote Capital. I don't know jack shit about leftist theory. Okay, it was Lenin that wrote Capital, right? No, Marx wrote Capital. No, it was Capital. Yeah, it was Capital. If you actually read Capital, at the very beginning it says the only way that communism or socialism can be established is if all media is made up entirely of disabled, trans, gay, women, trans women of color that are also non-binary. It says that in some of the first paragraphs of Capital. I actually tried to read Capital, and the second I read that, I was like, nope, this is SJW shit, and I closed the book, and I moved on with my day, and I went on to become a red pill based alpha motherfucker. It's actually true. That's the only way we can achieve communism in this country. That is the goal of the far left.
As shown to us by their love of power politics, as the ultimate descriptor and predictor of everything that they do, as the lens through which they see the world. Blackface and brownface, or whitewashing and blackwashing, depending on what we're talking about, all of that stuff is only bad depending on who has the power in the situation. So when someone who is white transforms into someone who is black, if it's done in a way to, say, mock black people, if it's done in a way where the white person has the power, then it's racist and it's terrible. But if it's done
No, if it's just done basically in any context, it's probably pretty bad. People are gonna be mad about it. I got that reference? Hell yeah. Wait, wait. What did I even say? Listen, I'm gonna be honest. I don't even remember what I said 5 minutes ago. Okay, my brain only knows what's happening in the current second. I live in the moment. Okay, I don't think about the past. I don't think about the future. That's what I like to say. If something is a problem today, then it's going to be a problem tomorrow. And if it's going to be a problem tomorrow, you don't have to worry about it today. And that is a wise words that I learned from one of my favorite streamers, Asmongold, and it's an amazing advice. And those are words that I live by. If it's still gonna be an issue tomorrow, you don't got to do anything about it today. So I don't think into the future. I don't think about what's happened in the past. And that's how I live my life.
Not to mock black people, but to erase white people. Well, then it's fine. Even though you're still taking a white
So you procrastinate? Oh yeah, I procrastinate. Holy shit.
figure and making it black, it's actually okay in this instance because the black person has the power. This is why Nathan Grayson believes that Twitch has a racist emote problem. Because there are emotes.
Yes, it absolutely motherfucking does. Okay, I'm sorry, but when you go into XQC's stream, or Greek God X's stream, or Trainwreck's stream, and a black person or a monkey of any kind appears on screen, and chat starts spamming tryhard or come on bruh, yeah, that's pretty racist. They do that all the time. Anytime there's a black person on screen, or anytime some kind of primate appears on screen, they all spam that shit. They start spamming the come on bruh or tryhard emote. I think we know what they're getting at. Even if they're doing it ironically, I think we know why they're doing it. I think we know why. They also like to do it whenever they do it with other races too. That aren't white people. Granted, sometimes they spam K-Kona whenever like a white like redneck dude appears. It's just a weird thing that Twitch chat does, but it is an issue worth talking about. XQC bad? No. XQC's chat is bad. XQC's chat is like, I'm pretty sure XQC's chat has the combined IQ of a hamster, okay? And he's like a fucking 30,000 viewer Andy, okay? So that's definitely saying something, alright? Alright, let's continue.
Of black people on Twitch, and white people use them. That is, in essence, a white person.
That is literally, I guarantee, that is not what this article says, and I know, as a regular Twitch viewer, this guy is full of shit and misrepresenting the argument. I know for a fact, because I am a regular Twitch viewer, he is lying his ass off right now. Nobody is claiming that it's racist for white people to use, emotes of black people. No one has claimed this. They're talking about whenever like a black person shows up on the stream and everyone starts spamming tryhard. There's actually a case, it was some like Overwatch tournament. You guys know the meme. I want to see the raw clip. I want to see the fucking raw clip. No, there was like, fuck. Okay, so this is like the video about it. Basically what happened was,
Going on, guys? Welcome to the video. I hope.
Hold on, I want to see the actual clip. This is like a well-known issue. Alright, here's the actual clip, I think. Alright.
If you guys haven't seen yet, here it is.
Out there in the Twitch chat, though, would you consider a Bastion strat like the one we saw just now at Nepal? Would you consider that a good strat or disrespect? You guys let me know in the chat when you're done with all those tryhard emotes. And in the meantime, we'll go ahead and send it over to our casters, Uber.
See, this is like a known thing when it comes to the Twitch community. Everybody fucking knows that this is an issue where like Twitch viewers just spam tryhard or come on bro when a black person or anything even related to black people stereotypically appears. If somebody does any type of crime in a video, like someone steals something in a video that appears on the screen, Twitch chat starts spamming tryhard or come on bruh. I'm sorry, but Twitch chat is really fucking racist. It's like, this is just a well-known issue in the Twitch
presenting
community.
a black message. The whiteness is going to blackness, but because the white person has the power, that's the problem. That's why The Guardian thinks that it's digital blackface, when black people reacting as part of memes online got so popular, you know.
Nobody says this. I went back and I read a bunch of these fucking articles because like reactionary YouTubers back in 2016 took this way out of proportion, and I actually went back and read those articles and read those stories. It wasn't nearly as bad as reactionaries made it out to be. It was literally just sort of like a analysis of like white people using those emotes and whether or not, or those like reaction gifs, and how it was sort of used as a way to sort of make fun of black people because there are like certain gifs in which it's like a black person engaging in some sort of exaggerated version of a certain behavior or feeling, and it was kind of weird to sort of like see white people spamming that all around as some sort of like weird mocking of black people almost. I think it was sort of like a lib shit type thing to do, but it wasn't nearly as bad as it was made out to be by these reactionary YouTubers.
Around last year or so, because it's not actually a black voice. There's no black power involved. It's simply, presumably again, a white person using a black person's face, hence digital blackface. And if we're really going down the logic of cultural appropriation, if it is the case that a white person taking something from the domain of the black and using it for their own ends is blackface, even though a black person taking something from the domain of the white and using it for their own ends is empowering or something, then there's many more.
We already went over why these are different issues and why one is considered societally acceptable and the other isn't. There's obviously historical and sociological context behind these different actions and why one of them is okay and one of them usually isn't okay.
More forms of blackface than what we thought, not just the digital blackface. How about mispronouncing names? You know, you've got the three authors of this article, Kaya Roy, Zahira Ali, and Medha Kumar. I probably mispronounced all of those, but I took their black name and I made it white with my mispronunciation. This is linguistic blackface in a sense. Or what about political blackface? Here's a white woman.
Do I need to go to all of these articles and read them? Because there's a reason why he's only showing the title, right? Do you want to bet he doesn't source any of them in the description? Yep. How much you want to bet he doesn't source a single one? You can support his PayPal, his Subscribestar, his Humble Bundle affiliate link, his Amazon affiliate link, his Patreon, his Gab, his trailer, his channel, his Twitter, his Facebook, his My Minds account, his gaming channel, his stream on Twitch, and his Discord, and then his fucking hashtags. Of course, it's just a bunch of shilling in the description and no sources for anything that he shows on screen. Now, for me, I can get away with that because these are just fucking clips from a stream, right? I'm not actually like citing anything unless I bring it up on screen and reread whatever it is in its entirety. In this case, these are prepared videos where he's showing articles and trying to quote them on screen, but he purposefully goes out of his way to only show the title. Because it's really easy to strawman a position if you only show the title and none of the content of the actual story. And we've already shown that he does this because we went through and we showed his Wikipedia, or we showed the Wikipedia article having to do with racial brownface and how he only read like 2 paragraphs down. And if you go down even further, you see that there is more historical context to racial brownface going back to the 1800s as opposed to 2018 when he claimed that it only goes back to. And of course he's on Gab, which is literally Nazi Twitter. Yeah, we all know.
This is linguistic blackface in a sense. Or what about political blackface? Here's a white woman saying that black Twitter ain't having no Bernie. I mean, she would know, right? But then we come to the most insidious form of blackface of all, intellectual blackface.
Oh, did we actually see like a dislike ratio on that tweet? Nah, I thought we might get a dislike on that one. I wanted to see how many likes this tweet had. I know for a fact this tweet doesn't have a lot of likes because anyone who tweeted shit like this got fucking ratioed like crazy on Twitter. Holy shit. Hey, there's a reason why the Bernie bully mentality was out there. We were fucking in those comments and we were shit-talking these fucking liberals. Shit-talking Bernie. Excuse me.
Or what about political blackface? Here's a white woman saying that black Twitter ain't having no Bernie. I mean, she would know, right? But then we come to the most insidious form of blackface of all, intellectual blackface. Diversity of thought is just a euphemism for white supremacy. A breakdown of why free thought actually translates to white thought. There's an epidemic.
Diversity of thought is just a euphemism for white supremacy. How much do you want to bet that if we actually go to this article, it's going to be about when reactionaries and white supremacists like Richard Spencer and whatnot say, oh, I just care about diversity of thought and accepting other people's opinions. It's them saying, I don't like getting called out for being racist. Because this is something that reactionaries do all the time. Actually, we're doing it. Hold on. Diversity of thought is just a euphemism for white supremacy. I can't type, but you guys can deal with it. Ooh, we got a 2018 article. Let's see. Every so often, a new phrase emerges that encapsulates the cunning Caucasian ability to keep power and dominance within their clutches by painting themselves as the oppressed class. Whether it is reverse racism, make America great again, or separate but equal, coining catchphrases as a means of maintaining white supremacy has been one of the national pastimes since disparate nations of men traversed the Atlantic and coalesced by renaming themselves white people. True. Now there's a new one. As people discover right-wing extremists in teaching in schools, working at businesses, and serving in various levels of government, the phrase diversity of thought has become a new slogan for white people who are upset because their undercover alt-right leanings are being eschewed by people who use their heads for something more than racks for MAGA hats. Why? How am I so good at this? How did I know that it would be about fucking alt-righters and reactionaries who get called out for being racist, and then they respond just saying, oh, it's just diversity of thought. The left are so... They just read the titles, or they do know the context of the article, and they cut it out purposefully. He just cuts it out I'm so big-brained! I'm so smart! Holy shit. I don't like how they say white people instead of, like, you know, racist. I know, but that's lib shit at the end of the day. Like, the argument they're making and the point they're making about, like, Nazis and white supremacists using euphemisms like this in order to, like, shroud their rhetoric is completely true, but you can only be so accurate when it's, like, a liberal analysis of this shit, you know? Liberals, you know, they have the brain rot, right? We all know about liberal brain rot here.
Epidemic out there of black people who are thinking white. And if they're thinking white, that means that it's white people who have the power, parading around those black faces and black bodies inhabited with
we just read the article. He's just like, this has nothing to do with the article that we just read. It's like when a student thinks that they can, like, write an essay for school without reading the actual thing they're supposed to write about, and they pull everything out of their ass. It's just like a pathetic display of, like, completely having nothing to do with what the article or what the essay is supposed to be about. Nothing that he's talking about here has anything to do with the article that we just read. It's actually hilarious.
White thoughts. The angry black woman stereotype is making it damn near impossible for black women to get mental health care. Well, as far as I can see it, mental health...
Ooh. Do you think we need to go and look at this article and see what this is about, and see how he's cutting the context out of this one? I don't think we need to, since we've already established him cutting out context and lying twice so far. Do you want to go for a three-way? Do you want to go for three? General, how dare you? I was amazed at looking at summaries and bullshitting my way through books. True! No, that's when you just go to Wikipedia and read the summary. Hey, listen. Hey. Mad respect if you do this for school, because fuck school and fuck learning. I hate it. But if you're doing this for an audience of, like, thousands, if not tens of thousands, maybe even millions of people on YouTube, and you're, like, a reactionary YouTuber, go fuck yourself. You're a subhuman piece of shit to me, in-game.
Healthcare is probably a privilege, which means that you're going to be thinking white, which means that if you want it as a proud black woman, you're going to have to think white to get it. And you have to understand...
Healthcare is a privilege. Oh, God. I love reactionaries. I fucking love them.
You need to stay in your lane. PSA Sitch recently linked on his Twitter account a very interesting study.
I'm pretty sure PSA Sitch is a Nazi. Am I wrong? Hold on. I think PSA Sitch is a Nazi. I might be wrong. Let's see. Wow, he's got a lot of shit here. National Wiki, giving up on Democrats. Science TV. Not seeing anything here. New abortion. Okay, so it doesn't seem like he's a racist, thankfully. He doesn't believe in global warming, it seems like. I'm feeling very sad at the state of information things have been happening at great speed, and I believe we're heading for a total change in global perspective. I believe in the next 2 years this planet will be shaken in a massive way. Oh, maybe he does believe in it. Am I thinking of someone else? I could have sworn somebody that's, like, adjacent to PSA Sitch or looks like him is a Nazi, like a legit Nazi. Maybe I'm thinking of ER. No, I think I'm thinking of ER, because it's like they have similar logos. Okay, never mind. Sorry, I was thinking of ER. I don't think PSA Sitch is a Nazi. I apologize.
Study talking about just how many black people are inhabited by white thoughts. Because as it turns out...
Literature Devil, that's the guy. Yeah. No, I'm thinking of, Yeah, you're right. I was thinking, it's, this dude. This dude, I'm pretty sure, is, like, an actual Nazi. And he has, like, a really similar logo to PSA Sitch. I apologize. Let's see this guy's Rational Wiki. I'm pretty sure... Wait, what? He does not have a Rational Wiki yet, apparently. Well, that sucks. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that guy's a Nazi. I know for a fact I've seen him do some, like, weird JQ-y shit. Satan. I love how Satan's the first thing that comes up. Nice meme.
2006 and 2007, every 100 bachelor's degrees conferred on black men, 196 were conferred on black women. And as Sitch says, the SJW idea that black women are the most disenfranchised, thus deserve the most power in their movement, may be completely backwards. Oh, are black women more on top than they thought? Well, it's because all those offending black women who dare to excel, they're inhabited by white thoughts, and their racism needs to be stopped. This whole attitude can basically be summed up by...
I mean, I'm literally not going to take their word for it with these, like, flipped and shipped, like, cut out of context screenshots. I mean, like, he's already proved that he's a liar so far, so I'm not going to take these, like, article titles he's showing on the screen at their, like, face value, which you should never do in the first place. Reactionaries strive off of having an audience that's too dumb and lazy to go out of their way to read these articles and find out how they're being clipped out of context and how the person presenting it is lying to them. I know because I was one of these people before I actually went out of my way to read these articles instead of just taking it at face value. I remember Literature Devil, I covered him when he talked about praising racism in a superhero. Oh, nice.
This headline. Liberals clarify they only want black voices to be heard when they're saying liberal things. But Dev, you may ask, that's from the Babylon Bee. It's a joke article. Yeah, but it's still the truth. Do you want to hear it from their own mouths?
Isn't the Babylon Bee a fucking satire website? Oh, well, this article is from a satire website. Yeah, but it's still true. Okay.
Here's a member of AOC's squad, Ayanna Pressley, saying basically the same thing that I've been saying this whole video.
For whatever lived experience and identity...
Do we want to actually read the article?
You may ask, that's from the Babylon Bee. It's a joke article. Yeah, but it's still the truth. Do you want to hear it from their own mouths? Here's a member of AOC...
Do you want to bet that if we go to this article, it's not going to say what he's going to say it says? We've already done it twice now. I don't think we need to read it ourselves. I think we know that he's lying. He's done it twice so far.
AOC's squad, Ayanna Pressley, saying basically the same thing that I've been saying this whole video.
For whatever lived experience and identity that you represent, if you are not prepared to come to that table and to represent that voice, don't come. Because we don't need any more brown faces that don't want to be a brown voice. We don't need black faces that don't want to be a black voice. We don't need Muslims that don't want to be a Muslim voice. We don't need queers that don't want to be a queer voice. Come on, speak it.
So you see, it's not enough to just be...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's talking about people like Candace Owens and like, what's his name? Milo Yiannopoulos, you know? Like people who are basically Uncle Toms that like, you know, like the gay guy who's homophobic, like, you know, the gay Nazi, the black white supremacist, you know? Blair Whites, you know, your Blair Whites and whatnot. I'm pretty sure that's what she's calling out, which is fucking based. PSA Sitch isn't a Nazi. Yeah, I'm sorry. I mixed up PSA Sitch and Literature Devil. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, that's pretty based. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with that clip 100%.
Be a black person. You have to be a black person with black thoughts. If you're a black person with white thoughts, you're not welcome. You're not really black anymore.
No, if you're a black person with white supremacist thoughts, you're still black, but you're an Uncle Tom. By the definition of it. And I love it. Because I know I'm gonna get comments like this on this video, because I always do. I'm gonna have some, like, black guy in the comments who's gonna come down and be like, oh, you're the real racist, you leftists are the real racist, Uncle Tom is a slur, haha, but then goes on to give all of his white friends the N-word pass. And always defends any, like, white guy who says the N-word, like, you know, vehemently defending PewDiePie for saying the N-word in that bridge in PUBG. You'll have to see it.
Anymore. And you know what? This logic can be applied to anything, really. Anything that's not you is a face. Am I the only person fed up of drag shows, a parody of what a real woman is, like Blackface? And really, you can't argue with this, can you? If the original definition of Blackface was basically...
Wait, do you actually want to read the tweet? Are we gonna read it? Am I the only person fed up of drag shows, a parody of what real women is, like Blackface? Women are juggling kids, rushing out a wholesome dinner, doing laundry and cleaning, holding down a job, all with period stains and leaky boobs. What the fuck? Or period pains? I thought period stains. Yeah, this is a turf. This person is not on the left. This is a turf. Enough of the stereotypes. This is literally a fucking turf. Nobody on the left agrees with this person. Turfs are subhuman and deserve to get the bonk in Terraria.
Is like Blackface. And really, you can't argue with this, can you? If the original definition of Blackface was basically a theater style where...
Oh my god! He's trying to argue that drag is doing woman face. Is that what he's about to argue? He's about to argue that drag is woman face and is on the level of blackface. Oh my god, I love it.
White people would dress up as caricatures of black people and look exaggerated and act exaggerated for comedic effect. Then how does that...
you know that this guy is just mad that he can't do blackface and it be socially acceptable. You know he's just mad he can't do blackface and be socially acceptable. Also, guess what? Cis women do drag. I'm pretty sure cis women can do drag, right? I know I've met cis women who do drag. Yeah, here's an article from the Dallas Observer about cis women doing drag. Like, you can still do drag as a cis woman. Like, wear, like, crazy hair and do makeup and dress really, like, flamboyantly. You know cis women can still do this, right? It's not woman face. It's just performative art. Yeah, drag kings also exist. Is this man face? Is this, look at this. This is man face, guys. Look. These are cis women doing man face. I assume there's also trans guys who are drag kings as well. But some of these people are cis women doing a man face. You hate to see it. The sexism is clearly on display. You hate to see it.
Not describe the relationship between drag queen shows and women. Really, at this point, with the way things have gone, with the way definitions have been stretched, any facsimile, any act, any bit of deception, it's all a face. I mean, any woman that you...
How do you get to this point? Like, can you imagine the lines of, like, the mental gymnastics that you have to do to get to this position from blackface is something that is seen as offensive because historically, in a country with a whole lot of racist history, white performers use it as a way of mocking black people to, okay then, well, this other thing, which is an umbrella term that encompasses blackface, racial brownface, is also offensive. And if we go even further from there, actually, it's bad because white characters that are gingers are being replaced by black actors in remakes. And if we go even further, look, some people got mad on Twitter because an artist drew a black character as being white. And if we go even further, a bunch of people on Twitter got mad because a racist artist drew a black character as like an Aryan white guy and then claimed that they didn't know that the character was black under the suit when there was literally no plausible way that is even possible. Because when you Google that fucking character, the first images that come up are the character without the mask being a fucking black guy. And then when you go even further from there, you say also, actually, drag is woman face, and so now any type of if you dress up as anything that's not you, now it's a mockery or a face of that thing. The mental gymnastics, the amount of leaps and bounds that you have to go from blackface is offensive and bad to drag is offensive and bad by that same logic, and you're a hypocrite if you don't agree with that. Which character? Black Panther. You must not have been here before. Like, the fucking mental gymnastics. I think that's what I'm going to name this video. ShortFatOtaku engages in insane mental gymnastics to try and justify blackface. It'll be something like that. That'll be the title of this video. Holy shit. This dude's got 2 brain cells. Or he's like a dishonest piece of shit who's like just trying to push a narrative and he's playing dumb. I don't know. But on the bright side, we know that, well, the bright side for him. A good thing for him, his audience is so fucking stupid and naive and gullible that they're going to take everything he says here at face value, leave a like, and agree with every single thing that he said. Holy shit. Do you know why chat refreshes whenever you go face cam? It's because they're different embeds, right? So if I do this, chat refreshes. If I do this, chat refreshes. I had it fixed for a while, but I wanted to be able to have chat whenever... Hey, everybody start spamming. Everyone start spamming and I'll explain it. Just start spamming. I want to see you guys spam. See how, like, the top of the chat here sort of fades instead of just cutting off out of nowhere? The only way I can make that happen and still have chat look good on this screen where it takes up the entire thing is for it to be 2 different embeds of chat. And if I do 2 different ones, then... or if I do the same one, then I can't have the chat fade, because this one is, like, elongated in the settings to be super long. And I just can't, like, I can't have it fade on this screen here if I do that, so that's why I did it. Either way, though, ShortFatOtaku probably looks very much in real life like he does in his little thing here. I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's fucking buff and ripped in real life, and it's ironic. But regardless, his ideas are stupid. He's either extremely stupid or dishonest. I don't know. I really can't know. But this was a terrible video, and I'm surprised this guy has anything resembling a fan base.